Well, it happened.
Can't believe it, huh?
Yes, it happened. It snowed. First time in many years.
I think a decade. I mean, we might have had some dustings, but this was accumulation, right?
Yes, and it was probably somewhere between 1 to 3 inches.
I was guessing 3 to 5.
Oh, really? 3 to 5?
Well,
you think so?
I think it was probably at least 3. It was
Right.
such a wet snow, heavy snow. When I took the dogs out yesterday morning, I got soaking wet from the snow coming down.
Oh, yeah, and they really like the snow. Especially Sammy. She's never seen snow before.
I don't know if I'd say like. She kept trying to eat it like she was dying of
Yeah,
thirst.
yeah, and that was Sierra too. She was laying down eating snow, and that was just pretty strange. But I'll tell you, it looks nice. It's very nice to see everything covered in white. Our trees looked really nice, and so we'll put up some pictures of those. And it's now it's the cleanup. It froze
it looks like mud now.
Yeah, it looks.
Cleanup time, and one tree looks like it's sad that the snow's pulling it down quite a bit, and I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, everything froze last night. Temperatures were very low, in the 30s and 29, 27, and so the ice froze on the trees, and it's pulling some of the trees down.
So we're in Atlanta, and we didn't say, and so and 11 years ago we had the famous
Snowmageddon.
And that was maybe what I read today. I don't remember, and I don't know if they're accurate. They say it was only 1 inch. But the issue was that all the businesses and schools did decide until this is from memory, midday to let everybody go home, and everybody was released at whatever time it was. 11,
right, from schools and from jobs.
Businesses, and then nobody was working remote back.
Right,
this is pre-COVID.
Right.
So the interstates just couldn't handle it, so people
were shut down. People were stuck on the interstate
for a day plus.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was so much the snow as the
just the amount of people who were on the road.
Yeah, the poor planning. So now, if there's any hint of snow, everything is shut down well in advance, and the schools. These are now. I was talking about colleges in Atlanta, but now the lower schools all have online learning, so
Right.
it's not as big of a deal to have a snow day because they just say it's online digital learning day. So the kids don't miss school and they don't have to make up that day.
And this is day 2 of the snowfall, and that
Well, it only fell one day, right?
right. It only fell one day, but
it's-
this is day 2 that we are stuck in the house. The roads are kind of icy.
Well, now even if it was whatever 2, 3, 4 inches, the one thing that really burns me up, because I grew up in Chicago, Steve in Philadelphia, is all these people went on Next Door app. They all said they are from Pennsylvania and laugh at us Southerners who can't drive. And it's insulting. It's just insulting because when we moved to Pennsylvania years ago, we were living in Alabama, moved to Pennsylvania, and the principal of the school told me, this isn't Alabama. We don't close down when it snows. Well, that school system had 2 hours delays in start time and 2-hour early release and snow days. And the last day we lived there was March. We had a big snowstorm, and the school called me. Steve was gone. They said they wanted me to pick up the kids because our son had been bullied. And it was snowing heavily, and I said I didn't want to drive in the snow. And she said, you got to pick him up. He can't ride the bus home. So I drove in the snow, and I'm looking at all the cars slid off the road. And I was like, oh, they're not slid off because of snow, because they drive in this all the time. I mean, that area had 63 inches of snow a year as an average. No, they were all slid off, and I'm driving down, and they're all slid in the ditch. And I went to the school, picked up our kids, and drove to a gas station. I was so stressed from driving. I stopped at a gas station just to stop for a minute, and also because there was a huge hill going to our home. Well, the whole town was at that gas station. It was a small town. Everybody was there because apparently it was a shift change, and they were union workers and
Clearing the roads.
and they refused to work. They said, we made enough money, we're not going to work. And so the roads weren't cleared. It was hilly, close to the Poconos, and we were stuck in the gas station. I thought we were going to be there all night. It was a Friday. I remember that because Steve was coming home the next day, and because we were moving. We were joining him in Buffalo. And luckily I had a flip phone at the time. I had just entered my neighbor's phone number, whose husband had just purchased a Toyota 4-wheel drive, and I called them. He came and picked us up from that gas station. We did have to eat dinner first. I remember we had pizza, and it was the best pizza ever. But he picked us up, brought us home, and the next day another neighbor took me back. I mean, we had the nicest neighbors, even though we only lived in that area. I lived there about a year and a half. Steve left almost instantly after we moved there. So that's a big memory. How people, I don't like, again, that's another divide. That we have so many divides in the world. We've got the North and the South, and the Northerners always criticizing Southerners for their inability to drive in the snow. And it's very insulting because, for one thing, why would they keep the amount of salt and snow plows that you keep in an area that gets 63 inches a year? And again, they didn't have the ability that night because nobody would work to clear the roads. So I really, it irks me when these people say, oh, you can't drive in the South, you can't drive in the South. And also, who can drive on ice? Nobody. Right?
That's right. You can't drive on ice.
But there was
no matter if you have 4-wheel drive or what you have.
There was another time, though, when Steve came home and said, it was snowing. He said, we're going to dinner. I said, Steve, it's snowing. He goes, we're going to dinner. It's Pennsylvania. He had that attitude, too. And our kids were playing with the neighbors, and he insisted on eating out. And I said, it's snowing. He said, it's Pennsylvania. Our car was rear-wheel drive. It was a truck, a SUV. We slid all the way over to the neighbor's house again, and he still insisted we are eating out. We drove all the way. Well, the restaurant wasn't that far. I'm not really sure where. It was maybe a couple miles. We got there, go inside, and they said, we are closing. It is snowing outside. Pennsylvania, where they get snow 63 inches a year, and they were closing. So down here, why would we keep I don't want to pay more taxes to keep the trucks of salt for our once-in-a-decade snowfall? Do you?
No, and then what happens is when you put salt on the road, then it eats up the blacktop, and then you have potholes. and you have big potholes.
And the cars get rusty.
Yeah, and the cars get rusty and all of that. So, I mean, it's the good and the bad, and you have to pick your poison, which one. I mean,
Well, the point
if
is,
it takes
the point
a
is
day,
that
does that really matter?
The point is the people who insult Southerners, the divide, the North and the
Right.
South, that divide again. We're all Americans. We're all in this together. We all live in Georgia together. We're going to get through this together. The businesses shut down for the most part. Of course, some people still had to go to the hospitals. The nurses, actually, our daughter-in-law is a nurse. She said they have beds at the hospital where they're able to spend the night. They just know they can't get out. They spend the night there, and I don't know how they pay them for spending the night. I'm sure it's just their shift. I'm sure maybe they give them a stipend for that sleeping over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Those are the only people who really have to work, are those emergency workers.
Yep.
When it's life and death. You don't need to go out to eat out or do some frivolous thing, see your friends or whatever it is. I mean, it's 1 or 2 days, and I know Americans don't want to be inconvenienced, right?
That's right. That's right.
We've been given so much.
It's not like you have to go to Costco.
So we've got a short video of her in the snow where she's, oh my gosh, she will not go to the bathroom in the snow, right?
Well, I think she's so distracted by the snow and eating the snow, and she just thinks that it's amazing.
Well, we call her our New York dog because whenever we walk her, she prefers the cement or the road.
Yeah.
She go to the bathroom. Now that the grass is all covered, she acts like she can't go to the bathroom with no grass.
Yeah, I think I walked her across the grass 15 times last night before she finally decided. It was 3 different times, and she just would not go until it was probably you had to do or die.
What are you doing? Yeah, she's a pretty finicky dog. I don't know why she's doing here now. She's probably saying, I gotta go. She goes, you're talking about going to the bathroom, and I think that's her bite. I've got to go to the bathroom. So we are gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Again, we have these cute photo shoots of her because I make cards for people who've had life happen and they're sad. We're sending pictures of Sammi to cheer people up as we've learned how many people just love dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, almost everybody loves dogs, has video, pictures of their dogs, and we think Sammi will cheer people up. So we are taking pictures of her and sending them to people with an organization called Cards of Compassion out of Ohio. They collect cards, and I'll attach the video link of where I made some cards last summer and how I'm still making the cards. And Sammi, we will take you. She's like, no. She's a puppy, 8 months, and when she actually can hold it, but she doesn't have a lot of patience. So,
thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit notification and subscribe and the like button. And
until we see you again,
take it easy.